Hello, dear friends. This is your weekly astrology horoscope. The upcoming week will bring three very interesting transits. The first one is on Monday, sextile between the Sun and Saturn, which can make the day probably the most productive, at least potentially, during the whole week. Then on Wednesday, we have a square between the Sun and Neptune, which can kind of make the opposite. So it could be the most difficult day for concentration or for being practical or concentrated. And the third one is on Saturday when Mercury has a trine with Uranus, which potentially can make the day the most interesting one of the week. So we have three major important aspects which are bringing very different energy. And I think that throughout the week, things will shift significantly, and we need to be very flexible and adaptable and to focus on different things, to use different approaches, to really navigate this whole thing in the best possible way. So let's get started with Monday, the sextile between the Sun and Saturn. This is a great time to focus on something which requires logical approach, patience, responsibility, hard work, consistency. And you may notice that you have more of the needed patience and kind of like the right attitude to fulfill your tasks, to complete the things that you start. And also, the beneficial side of this transit is that whatever you focus on can have long lasting results. So try to focus on something that is big and major and important, not just something temporary or something insignificant or something which is supposed to be very quick and then you kind of forget about it. Instead, focus on something which might be kind of a challenge for you, and you know that you need to really organize yourself to concentrate so that you can complete your tasks. But at the same time, you know that if you manage to do this, then it will really bring some change or some important results for you. So for all kinds of business related things, work related stuff, anything that is about your duties, responsibilities, or organizing something, the day is especially beneficial. Also, the moon is in Leo on Monday, which can help us to express ourselves, to be committed, dedicated, passionate about the things that we do, and to feel confident also about what we are doing. On Tuesday, the Sun is having a big quintile with Uranus, which can bring some excitement, some interesting ideas, something unexpected. So it's a nice time to try something new, to experiment, to innovate something, or even to change our plans. So we need to be ready for something new. We need to be also flexible, open-minded, but most of all, we should also look into ourselves and see what is it that we can change within us, our approach, our attitude, our goals, our desires. It could be anything at all, but again, the most beneficial is if you look inside of you and see what can I change in me so that I have different results, or the situation outside also changes. The moon is still in Leo, so the focus is really on our personality, our ego, our desires, our perspective about ourselves. Basically, yeah, lots of self-focus is needed on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, things get more complicated because the Sun is having a square with Neptune. And this can blur things, make them foggy, confusing, unclear. There could be some mistakes, confusion. We might forget about something, we can make a mistake, or something might be misleading. So be more cautious, but also keep in mind that there are positive things we can do when the energies feel like that. And the best we can do is to focus on something creative. anything which will require more imagination or a different vision or a different perspective. But again, coming out of your intuition, coming out of allowing yourself to feel more. It's not about searching for the answers in your mind or in the logic or even in the outside world. You will find solutions if you allow yourself to feel more. And another thing that we can use this transit for on Wednesday is some kind of healing work. Anything that is related to, I would say healing of deep wounds, or something which is more subconscious, or something which is kind of like more difficult to define. So for this type of work, Wednesday is also very beneficial. Mercury is having a quintile with Neptune, which is also very interesting, and it can help the mind to catch some intuitive ideas. So again, allow yourself to feel more, slow down, don't rush, and you can really be surprised by some interesting insights that may show up. This aspect also supports the more gentle, kinder communication between people. And the last aspect on Wednesday is a minor challenging aspect between Venus and Saturn. So emotionally, things might be a little stuck, or we may need to face with some kind of limitations or something which is we feel like a restriction. So in relationships or romantic stuff, be more careful. And the moon is in Virgo, which is pretty strange with the rest of the energies, honestly, because, well, after all, we will need to find something practical and to do something concrete, and to keep at least one of our feet on the ground. I think it's kind of unrealistic to say that with so much Neptune energy we can be both feet on the ground, focused ahead, and very grounded and concentrated. That's a little bit of a stretch, honestly, but at least one of your feet should be on the ground. The other one might be more flexible, so to say. But yeah, try to really focus a little bit on what can you do right now. What is something practical, something concrete that would improve your life, or that brings some kind of results. Then on Thursday, Mercury is having a quincunx with Mars, and this can activate the mind, the desire to take action. Of course, we shouldn't forget that Mars is retrograde, and it's under the rulership of Mercury, so that's pretty interesting. Here, the main theme or connection is between the plans and the execution, the ideas and the implementation. And we might face with some kind of challenges at first, or it may feel like, we need to work on something, or we need to sweat for something. If we manage to really put the needed effort and take some kind of risk and be courageous also, we may notice that after that things get easier, or we have some achievements or results. So this is an aspect which typically brings a shift. At first it may feel more like a struggle, and if we pass through this through effort, then things can really shift into more kind of like smooth sailing. The moon is still in Virgo, so focus on work, practical things, try to organize something. On Friday, the moon is in Virgo until 3 p.m. And this is, again, better for focusing on work, concrete stuff, practical tasks. And after 3 p.m., the moon will move to Libra. So you may focus more on the things that bring you joy. You can maybe slow down a little bit or focus more on communication. Generally, the evening might be great for dating, for spending time with people you love, for more social interactions. And the moon is having multiple aspects: opposition with Neptune and Jupiter, square with the Sun, trine with Pluto. So we have a mixture of everything almost. So yeah, be mindful with what you focus on, so you are clear about your priorities. Don't waste time on meaningless things. Try to focus on the things that you're most passionate about and the things that make you feel strong, confident, and dedicated and committed. Saturday comes with this very exciting trine between Mercury and this and Uranus, and this is a time of insights, new ideas, innovations, different approaches, different perspectives, experimenting, brave ideas, even shocking ideas. So think about what is it that you want to work on, what is it that you want to focus on. But also, what is very interesting is that the signs which are triggered are earth signs, Capricorn and Taurus. So as much as this could be about new ideas, futuristic visions, something even shocking, the point is also to implement this in reality, to do something with this, not just to fantasize or, enjoy the excitement, but also do something with it in reality. So it can be great for business ideas, things related to money, resources, and anything that help us to be part of this reality, to be engaged with this world. So Saturday is especially interesting. We may also meet interesting people or have interesting conversations, or for example, for some kind of brainstorming, this is also a wonderful time. And the moon is in Libra, which basically supports the communication even more, and the ability to listen to a different perspective, to consider different sides of one story, maybe to negotiate or to find interesting compromises and solutions. And finally, on Sunday, we have a quintile between Venus and Neptune. A very romantic combination, which can bring something very interesting and pleasant in relationships, for art, for creative work. This is great for overall inspiration and also inner fulfillment, to feel connected, to feel inspired, to feel like you can contribute, you can do something for the people you love or for a cause you believe in. So it's pretty nice. And there is also one more aspect on Sunday, which is more tense, definitely. A square and a half between Mars and Pluto. This can increase the passion and the desire for control, and might bring some kind of power struggles. So we need to be mindful. But on the positive side, this can bring more commitment and desire to change something, to put our energy into something. So Sunday is, pretty interesting. And the moon is in Libra, which also brings the focus to relationships, romantic stuff, spending time with the people that we truly love, or focusing on the things that bring us joy. So that's the week ahead. As you can see, we have very different energies and things are shifting, and we need to be, again, very flexible and to adapt pretty quickly. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you want to share something, and you can check the links in the description below if you are interested in a personal reading, or if you have the need for more information and insights. There are tons of free resources on my website, marstars.net. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon.